name is Hen, and this is Crafting from the Room Closet. Apologies for being away so long. Life just has been a bit bizarre. Well, I'm back. It is still May, and we are still doing Magical May. And I'm going to show you how I make the covers for my books. So these are what I call grimoires, or magic book spell books. But yeah, so this is the first one I made, and I love it, but it didn't go quite right. Let me just put this to the side. So with this one, I used tissue to make the form, which meant I put too many layers on to cover it up, to try and stop it from being squishy. And it's still slightly, no, it's not really, but in places it's still a little bit squishy. And unfortunately, putting all the layers on meant that this ended up warping, as you can see. So the second one I made, I actually used hot glue to form the shape, and as you can see, not so warpy. So that is what I'm going to show you how to make, and what I made them from. I haven't got any black tissue paper left, so we can't be doing one with black tissue paper. So we're going to be doing a bit of experimenting today. But both of these started off as a food box. So this one is pizza. I'm not actually sure what this one was. I can't remember. But this one, I know, was either cheese and onion pasties or slices, or steak slices, one or the other, from Aldi's. But this is what we're going to make today. We're going to make one out of this pizza box. So how do we start? Well, obviously we need to undo the pizza box. We don't need the ends, although what I will do is I will fold them down and reinforce them. I will reinforce the edges of this. If you want something a bit tougher, you can use 2 pizza boxes. So, which one's the opening one? This one. This one's the opening one. That's a solid edge. We're going to use that as our spine. And then we've got this bit that I don't necessarily need. But what I'm going to do is going to cut down the middle of it. We're going to fold it over because it will reinforce this edge, and it will reinforce that edge. So if I cut down the middle, reinforce this and reinforce that. So let's start doing that, shall we? I can use a ruler and a knife, except for then I'm possibly going to accidentally cut through the next layer. So I'm just going to get scissors, because it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. So here we go. You could cut this off altogether. I'm just keeping it on, like I said, to just give you a little bit more strength on the edges. I don't even think I did that on the last ones. Okay, I definitely don't need these tabs. They can come off. I'm going to keep the top tabs. Do I need that? Yeah, I can keep them. But I don't need these little tabs here. In fact, I can cut this at an angle like that. Make it even better. The reason I say that is because when I fold that down, then fold that down, you're going to have a neater edge. So, shall we start by gluing them down? I think so. Let me just straighten up that. Look, I made that so messy. Let's just neaten that up a little bit so I've not got stringy bits and it's a bit smoother. There we go. Don't need any of that. Don't need any of that. We'll do the same here. Straighten this one up a bit. Oh look, this one was a join. So let me take off. That's going to be 2 layers thick. If I take that off, then it's only 1 layer thick. And it's still enough to give a little bit of reinforcement on here. There we go. This will all be covered. You won't see this. Okay. I'm actually going to turn it inside out because this is going to have a solid cover on once I finish. So turn it inside out, and then the outside, I'm just reinforcing the seams, the folds to go the other way. And then the outside will be plain like this, which will make it, it's a softer background as well, so things sticking to it will be easier. Softer, it's a less shiny background. I knew what I meant. Fold these over, just reinforce that fold. You can use back of your scissors like that. It's actually probably the best way of doing it. So I'm going to do now. If you've got the tool that is known as a bone folder, which I do have, I can find it. So this is a bone folder which is used, but your scissors will do pretty much the same job. So I'm just scoring them edges, not scoring them edges, I'm just there's a technical term for it, and it's just gone out of my head, but I am just same with this one, because I think I'm going to keep that just to give a little bit more stability around that edge. And there we go. So it will be, these will fold down, these will fold down, fold down. And then once it's all decorated, these will be covered and you won't even see them. But let's go and start with this side. Now, as I said, I use hot glue, but if you haven't got hot glue, something that's a little bit, because like I said, the original one I did tissue paper, and it really just didn't take the strength. But something that is a little bit stronger is tinfoil. As I said before, I haven't got any black tissue. I do have black napkins, and I'm going to experiment with them. But I have sort of the off-white tissue, and that's what I'm going to use today. For now, on this one. So you get some tinfoil. And because I'm doing the off-white, I thought I'd do something a little bit lesser. So these are witchy type symbols. I thought I could do either like an angel or a feather. So that's what I'm going to play around with today. So if you twist the tinfoil, like so, it becomes quite firm. Which will be much more less squishy, and I shouldn't need as many layers as tissue as I did with the when I tried to make the form out of tissue. So we're going to experiment today. Now I can draw on this the shape I want to do, or I could just go freeform and see what happens. And I think we're going to go freeform. Like I said, I think I'm gonna do a feather. So a feather, I need some more, obviously, foil. Yeah, let's get some more foil. I'm just pulling off strips, like I say. Sorry about the reflection of the light. I know that's probably glaring at you. Oh, it's a bit of a weak spot there. Let's strengthen that a bit, just by squishing it together. Okay. So I make the feather shape. I'm thinking, okay, this doesn't have to be perfect, because you know what? It's a natural, that's way too wide, isn't it? It's a natural item from nature, and natural items from nature are never uniform. Oh, go back. Twist together. I wanted you to twist together into a point, like so. So that's sort of feather shaped, isn't it? So we twist that around there, like so. I'm happy with that sort of feather shape. Take some of that off. I don't need it to be that long at the bottom. Oh, it's not tearing off because it's twisted now, but we have the scissors, so we'll snip it off. There we go. So there's your feather shape. And then we want to make some, I guess, V shapes going through it. A bit more foil. I'm going to tear some strips this way and make the V shapes. So that's way too long. So if I cut that in half, I think that'd be all right. Like so. That one's too big still, I think. I don't know if this looks anything like a feather. Sort of. Sort of looks like a feather. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a representation of a feather. I quite like that. That's definitely needs more. I need to make them more V, don't I? Need more pointy. There we go, like that. Fold that one in half. Give it that point. Same with this one, because they're more like a U at the moment than a V. Same with that one. There we go. So what we'll do is I'll get some glue and pop them down. I'm just going to use glue stick because these don't have to be 100% secure. So let's move that out of the way for a moment. Obviously this will be your front cover, that'll be your back cover. So I'm just going to get some glue. I could probably use tape to hold this down. It'd probably be more secure than the glue, but I'm okay with just a bit of glue for now. Hopefully I'm putting it in the right place. I'll put it way more than I need. More you stick. No, it's not going to stick to the glue, so I guess we'll have to use tape. Have I got any tape handy? No. I haven't got any glue available. Tape. I've looked everywhere. Seems I don't own tape, but I do have PVA, and the PVA will work. I've got PVA because we'll be using it later. But here we go. So let's move that out of the way. I'm going to make a form. It may take a little while to dry, but I'm going to be using this later anyway. So okay. Obviously, me personally, I will be using the glue gun, but this is an option for you if you don't have a glue gun. It's a lot of PVA. It might take a little while to dry. No, why are you not going the way I want you to go? There we go. So yeah, once you've formed your shape, you can I think that's another one actually. Oh, I'm not doing this very well. Right, I'm going to leave that. Let me just try and spread out this PVA that I don't actually need. I'm going to leave that to settle and dry, hopefully. Hopefully. She says. I'll be back in a little while. Make sure everything's in the right place before it settles and dries. I'm hoping that I'll hold it. Nothing's staying where I want it to be. There we go. Yeah, I'm happy with that now. So I'm going to leave that to dry and come back in a little while. Okay, I decided while that's drying and hopefully sticking, I'm going to show you how I make it with the hot glue. So in this case, I am going to draw it because I want it to be fairly accurate. And I'm going to draw a pentagram. A pentagram, or a pentagram is a 5-pointed star. I always get these wrong. So, but the thing is, no matter how wrong I go, I'm covering it up. You won't see it. So I'm going to draw it out and hope for the best. So you start from the top and go down. And then we're going across to here. I think I might be getting this right. For once I might be getting it right. Then we go across there, that's straight across. And then we come back down here. The six pointy triangles are so much easier to do. And we're going like, I might not, maybe it's not quite right. Across like that. And then what you do is you join it back up there. And I can see straight away it's not quite there. This is too pointy compared to the others. That's not pointy enough. So if I draw down the middle, then I know. Yeah, see, let's experiment. So if that's the middle, then I want this to cross here, don't I? Ha ha. No. Yes, I do. So let's move that line over. I need to move that line over. Yes, let's move that line over a bit. We've got more of that angle. And then that line, that's where it's crossing now. And then that line going to there. Oh, am I right? Is that right? Is that making it more even? Sort of. Not really. That line isn't straight at all, is it? No. It should be more. There. That would probably be why it wasn't looking right. Do you know what? It only has to be rough. It doesn't have to be perfection. Right, that's a rough idea of what a pinnacle looks like. It's completely not even. But it's fine. We'll figure it out. We'll go along. The glue is hot enough. I switched it on. It is dripping, so it's definitely hot enough. And then we're going to follow, she says, I'm going to follow the lines. As you can see, it's quite a big glue stick in this glue. She said, why are you not working? There we go. Oh, go back over that again because that didn't go thick enough when it got to here. I'm going to go down to there. Okay. I'm going to go down this way. Come on. Feed through. Give it a second layer because that really went thin. I apologise for the shadowies. You will get stringy bits. One of my favourite crafters that I watch, she calls her glue gun drippy, because they are drippy. But I think this one I'm going to call stringy, because they do lose stringy bits and it's really annoying. I've stopped there for some reason. I should keep going down, because part of the pentagram is that the lines do overlap. Is this perfect? No, it's not. Not in any way, shape or form. So it should be one continuous line. But I'm not that good. I don't have that control over my glue gun. I've possibly gone a little bit too close to the edge there. I'm just going to take some of that away, because really shouldn't touch it with your fingers. It's hot. It's pulled down slightly, so it's not too bad. Just going to turn it around this time, because obviously you don't want it too close to the edge, because you won't be able to build the tissue up around it. So I've definitely gone too close to the edge with that particular point up there. You can go back along with itself there, because that's really thin. This dries a lot quicker than the PVA will dry on the other one. That one's way too thin, so let's go across that one again. Because we want a raised shape. That's the whole point of this, is we're making a raised shape for the tissue to form around. Okay, not perfect. Not perfect by far. I think we need more here as well. I'm going to leave that to dry for a little while. Unplug me glue gun. Oh, hang on, that corner there needs a bit more. There you go, and a little bit more there. Don't worry about these stringy bits, they will not be seen. Okay, that will do. That will do, I hope. Maybe a little bit there. Ooh. No, come on. That's not where I wanted you. That's not what I'm meant to do to get rid of glue. But it did the job. Now you see why they're called drippies. And I think you'll probably get in my head in camera, because I'm really staring. I hope not. Because I haven't done my hair. Right. So yeah, we'll leave that to dry. And then we should be able to start playing with the actual paper. So I'm just going to step that over to one side for a moment. I'm trying not to get anything on my lovely new mat. Do you like my new mat? For those that live in the UK, home bargains, £4, £3.99, something like that. PVA glue and a little bit of water. That's what we need. This is quite runny PVA glue anyway. So, as you can see, I probably don't actually need to add water to this one, but I'm going to anyway. But I'm not going to be diluting it as much as you would normal. This is really runny PVA glue. Normally you do about half water, half PVA, but this PVA is really watery. Give it a good stir. That actually might be too runny for my liking. This is a cheap children's one. Go for a better quality one, because way too drippy. I don't want it that drippy. I don't need this much glue. I only put a tiny bit of water in there. Do you know what? Let's start again. I think I'll be alright without... Yeah, I'm not even going to add water to this one. Because look how runny that is. It's very drippy anyway. If you've got a thicker PVA, definitely add water. But I think that is way too runny. And actually, the way this is already the right consistency. So don't add... If you've got this cheap PVA glue, don't add water to it. If you've got a much thicker one, this is the consistency you want. A little bit runny, but not like pure liquid. Do I need more than that? Probably. But I can always add more. Right, how dry are you? See, this is almost dry enough already. Whereas, yeah, the PVA is not setting on that other one at all. I'd probably use tape if I was you. I do need more, so I'm going to pour some more in for now. Just this cheap kiddies PVA glue. I'm going to start... Are you dry? Yes, you're dry. I'm going to start just by giving the whole thing a coat. So I'm going to get one of my thicker paintbrushes. These are just cheap paintbrushes. That one's hard. Very cheap paintbrushes. They're not really worth using for painting. They're really bad. Pop you over. I'm going to give it a whole thing of coat, front and back. Let me put something underneath so I don't get glue on my lovely new mat. Oh look, I might have I don't know, some more pages left over from, you know, all them free magazines that you get from the supermarkets. And I put a couple of pages there underneath. Move you out of there a minute. A minute. So pop that under there. Your fiesta. Oh, look how pretty that is. Pop that under there. I think that for Cinco de Mayo, 5th of May. I think that's why that's there. The Mexican thing. This is not the best paintbrush at all. But we're going to cover. Don't need to cover the flaps. Don't need to glue onto the flaps. You can if you want. It doesn't matter. It's going to get folded over anyway. I want it to go over the edge a little bit. With this, obviously just to here. You don't need to go over there all the way. But over the edge a little bit. So over this edge a little bit. And this edge. Right, so this paintbrush is awful. I think I was better off with the original one I had. It was softer. Yeah, that's better. So I'm going to get a whole coat. Am I using the right glue? I was using the wrong glue. Oops. Remember, I don't want to saturate it, because when you saturate it, we end up with it going bubbly. But I do need to make sure that there is this all over into them grooves, over these edges. I'm not going to worry about doing the back at the moment, and the reason I'm doing the spine is because I am going to be bringing the tissue across the spine so that there's not any weakness along that spine. Okay, so This one I'm going to try using the black napkins. I haven't used these before, so don't know how well they're going to work. So you are running with me. So napkins, when you buy them, they tend to have more than one layer. And the way to find out if they have is just to twiddle the corner like that. There you go, separated. This is a 2-layer. Quite often they're 3 layers, but this one's a 2-layer. Now, I could just lay it flat on like that, but because I've got this detailed area, I think I'm going to, for that detailed area at least, I'm going to go in smaller pieces. Like so. Then you get your glue and you push in to that area with a paintbrush. See, like that. You want to work quite quick before the glue dries underneath. Oh, yeah, it's folding up, but that's fine. Because it gives you the nice texture when it folds up anyway. Just want to make sure it does cover it, and see it's torn a bit there, so I'm going to have to put another layer over that, but I'm not going to put it on straight away. I'm going to do a first layer all over first. I say a first layer. Yeah, the napkin does tend to fold up more than the tissue does. You'll see that when I do the white tissue. Oh. Okay, so we've done, apart from that little bit there, done a layer all over the cross. Yeah, I'm going to put a little bit on that bit that it didn't cover. So I'm going to do that there. There we go. And dab it, gently brush it. Sometimes dabbing works better in the more delicate areas. Just make sure that there's a layer of glue underneath and on top. So you're using the glue like so. Like I said, this glue is very thin. This is not normal PVA glue. I think it's already watered down. So that bit there needs doing as well. So we'll go over that like that. Oop. Oop, I think that's too much now. That's fine. Spread that out. Yeah, see? Definitely too much. And this is, like I said, this is not the watered down one. And it's just making it very soggy. So I'm going to dab that in. And I don't know if it's the tissue paper or the glue that's the problem, because it's done it there as well. I'm going to put another bit over there. I'm going to dab it rather than brush it. Okay, that is down. So that is the, oh no, there's a bit there I haven't done. So that was all the detail done, but it is not. I missed the whole section. Missed that corner altogether. Yes, this one, the tissue, the napkins definitely tear easier. But there we go. So that's that layer done. And now I'm going to build up around it. And I want it, like I said, I want it to come over this side, over the edges. I'm just going to use up this last little bit of this one. And as you can see, I'm going over the whole spine. So I do need to make sure there's some underneath as well. And you just keep going, and you just build up layers, and you probably want to go about 3 or 4 layers deep. So I'm going to put a big layer here. Don't need it all broken up. I'm running low of glue already. We keep going. As you can see, I've gone over the fold mark, and that's fine, and that's actually what you want to do. In fact, I probably need to go over a little bit further than that. No, that should be fine. Because you want your edge, see? And if you look on the inside, it goes through onto the other side. So I actually do probably need to go a little bit higher than that, but I think that'll be fine. I'm going to have to do more layers anyway, so that'll be all right for the first layer. Just make sure that all of the tissue you put down gets a layer of the PVA over the top. And obviously I need to go over there a bit before I can put the PVA over the top of this side. There's PVA underneath and on top. And I'm going to do the same here, where I'm going to go all the way across. You know where you put PVA, because it changes the colour. And you can see now why I decided, although I'll probably be building it up, the reason I decided to use the plain side on this is just in case you can still see the pattern underneath. You won't. By the time you build up the layers, you won't. But it's just in case. No, there's no glue under there, so let me just put some. There we go. No glue under there. So make sure I put some. Like I said, the wrinkles actually give it a nice texture, so don't worry about it wrinkling. The wrinkles make a nice texture. So I can do, literally take a napkin now. Oh. Like I said, if you get your corner, you should be able to separate it. If you can't get it to separate just by doing this, you can take a piece of tape and it will put it away easily. I'm going to do the whole thing now, this side, like that. And stick it down. So let me just do this. I'm just doing it quickly. Make sure it's all covered. Along that edge there. Take your tissue. Oh, oops, that's not what I wanted. Take your tissue, place it down. Like I said, wrinkles are good. Don't worry about wrinkles. Wrinkles give it a nice texture. I'm going to try some of that watered down stuff, just because this, yeah, let's try it with the watered down stuff. This is an experiment. I know I had this same glue before and I felt it was too watery when I did it before. So I just thought it was a bad batch. Let's try it with the didn't want that to happen. It's fine. Like I said, building up layers. It's absolutely fine. If this warps, it's because it's warped. Oh, look. I want to get rid of them loose bits because that I don't want. What I have discovered is the tissue is a bit... I would not use napkins again. I'm telling you now. Napkins are not the thing. Because they do tear too easily. You'll see the difference when I use the tissue on the other one. But yes, it shouldn't tear. See? That area. Dab, dab, dab. Because it's tearing, I'm going to dab. I guess it's because napkins are not as water resistant as the tissues, as the tissue paper. That might be where we're having this issue. I'm going to dab it. It may give us a good effect. It's just have to go more gentle. So you can see we're building up a texture. I'm going to put another one over here, like so. You just keep building it up. You want to go, like I said, about 3 or 4 layers thick. I think with the napkins you might need to go more than that. And once you've built up enough layers, you can let it dry. Overnight. Or, I mean, it should only take a couple of hours. But I think it's better to leave it overnight if you can. Put a whole thing over? Yeah, let's put a whole thing over. Put a whole thing over. I'm gonna, once I've done this layer, this tissue, this napkin, I'm gonna leave it and see how it feels. I'm gonna leave it to dry. If I need to add more, I can always add more. But I don't want it to warp because I put too much on, and I've got a feeling that it's going to. Shut down. Oh, I've got 2 layers there. Oh, I have. I'm a wally. I didn't separate the layers. Oh, hopefully it'll be fine, and this will soak through and it'll be fine. So thin a layer. I'm hoping it'll soak through. If not, I've messed up. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. It's only as I was going to that edge, I'm like, hang on, why is that lifting up like that? And I think because it is napkin and not tissue, I think the 2 layers will let it soak through. But we'll soon find out, won't we? Need to put a bit there. It's very thin there. Another napkin out. So you can see how translucent it is there. This time I will separate them because I'm a wally. So I'm going to put a bit up there. Make sure there's no bits sticking up, especially where it's ripped. And especially where you're joining it. You don't, oh, see, I'm not using these again because they do tear too easy. I'm going to put a couple of patches there. So I'll put one. I'm going to have to order some tissue, possibly from Amazon. I think I've seen some on there fairly cheap. Because when I've gone looking in the shops, I can't find any black tissue. The only one I did see was part of a set. See where that wrinkle is there? I'm just rubbing that out because it looked like a straight line. I didn't want that. You want to make sure it's not bubbly, really. Right, okay. I'm going to leave that like that. To leave that to dry and come back to it in the morning. And hopefully this will be dry and my PVA glue on the other one will be dry. And we can carry on. Yep. I'll see you in the morning. Welcome back. It's actually not the next morning, it's the morning after. This is sort of held not, but enough to hold it in place. Things have gone squiff, but you know what? Let's see what happens, because I really, yeah. Tape, people, tape. Use tape, not glue. Didn't work. It's held in place in a couple of places. It's going to do. So, as I said, I'm going to use this off-white tissue on this. And I experimented off camera with this angel one. And you can see it's quite translucent. I didn't put enough layers on this. So we're going to have to put more layers on this one. Because you can still see the cardboard showing through in too many places. So I'm going to put more layers on this one. This one I'll finish off camera, put some more layers on. The black one. So this is a black one with the tissue paper. It's a lot more crinkly and less shiny than the tissue paper. And as you can see, there's a couple of patches where it's still a bit see-through. And yeah, using the watered down PVA was not a good idea because it has totally warped it. Quite stiff. I'm going to fill in them patches. We're just going to work with it. We're just going to work with it. But it's very matte and a lot more crinkly than the tissue. I don't know if I like it or not. We'll see. We'll see when we finish it. But so I'm going to finish this today and I'm going to do the tissue on this one today. So let's start. So this is just normal tissue paper, packaging tissue paper. I think I bought this in a set. I think it came with the black and white check one I used. So for some reason my camera stopped recording. And you missed me putting on several layers of tissue paper. So it's pretty much what I did yesterday with this one, except for the tissue paper really doesn't tear as easily. So I've just got to leave that to dry. I'm going to be working on showing you how to fold this down and cover the inside in a moment, but I've done a little patching up, as you can see, so I've got to let that dry. It's going to take a little while. Once that's dry, I'll come back to show you how to finish off the cover. I'm going to leave that to dry too, and we will finish off the cover. I've used a lot more tissue on this one than I did on the angel, so hopefully we won't see any of the brown effect going on. And I'm wondering whether I didn't use it all shiny side up on this one, and that might be why we've got some discoloration going on as well. I'm not sure. I'm going to experiment, see how this dries, and show you that in a couple of days. But at the moment, I'm just going to let that dry. Okay, I'm back. It's been a couple of days. Things have happened. I have been working on something that's going to be happening in a couple of days, hopefully. But I need to finish this off, and I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. So this is the black cover that I made. This is the white one. I really don't like it. If you are going to use foil, tape it, because what I didn't realise is while I was gluing on the tissue paper that all the bits of foil had moved, and I really don't like it, so I'm not going to use this. I'm going to try and see if I can cut around and get that foil off, and I think I should be able to. Let's give it a go, so I'm not wasting everything I did, and I should be able to reuse it. But I'm not sure if that will work. Let's give it a go. I'm hoping you can see everything, but I can't see the camera. It's very high. Is this going to come away? Yes. So yes, I'm taking a lot of layers off, but I think I should be able to. I don't like the colouring. I don't like what happened with the foil. It just, like I said, it moved. It moved and wasn't the shape I wanted. So if I can get the foil out, it seems to be coming out. I should still be able to use this. Don't know how I'm going to use it yet, whether I'm going to try and patch up where there isn't any paper, or cover it up with something, because that is also an option. But yeah, if I carry on, that foil will come out. It's coming out okay. Weird noises going on over there where I'm vibrating the table. Yeah, see, I'm not going to waste this. I'm going to cut the rest of that away, and I'm going to reuse this. But at the moment, let's concentrate on the one that I am reasonably happy with, and that's this one. Now we need to finish making it into a cover. So we need to take that down, 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 take all these bits down. I'm going to use tape, double-sided tape. I'm noticing that I probably didn't overlap that as far as I would have liked, because I've cut down a piece of paper, and I'm now worried it is not going to cover it as much as I would like. Let's have a look. It should be fine. Let's give it a go. So if we tape all the bits down first, I'm using double-sided tape just because it's quick and easy. You can use glue if you haven't got double-sided tape. Let's take off that bit. I don't need that bit there. That's going to get in the way. And that bit there. I'm not too worried about the edges being too neat, because they will be covered up. So I'm going to go right to the edge. Oh, she says. Right, I can always go over with another bit of tape, not a problem. Where's my line from? I just had it. Where did I bury it? Where did... Oh, there it is. Just cut on there. So I'm going to do this a bit neater this time. Right to the edge. Not skew-if like I just did on that one. It doesn't really matter. It still went skew-if. I'm not very good at doing this right to the edge, am I? I'm going to do the ends first and then I'll do the sides. Oh. You see all these people have been crafting for ages. They do this so quickly and so neatly. Me, I throw knives around. Oh. Did I just slice me through my finger? Probably. No, I didn't. Somehow I managed to miss any arteries. Okay. There we go. This is double-sided tape. You get double-sided tape in different thicknesses. This is just a cheap one I picked up. And then we just want to lift the corner, and apparently if you use a knife, it's easier. Oh, hang on. Let's press it down. I'm going to get my bone folder and press it down, because I think that's what I do wrong all the time. To make sure it's completely adhered. Adhered? Is that the word? Completely stuck down. Completely stuck down. That's what I mean. Right. Try again. Because that was lifting up the sticky. I don't want to lift up the sticky. How do people do this so quickly and neatly? I do it all the time. You see me, it's like, oh, quick. No. I guess it takes practice. Me? No. Oh, I got it. I got it. Woohoo! So I stick that one down. I do it with my nails easier. Probably, yeah. So, stick that one down. Like I did before, you can use your backy scissors to do this. I just happen to have the bone folder, so I can do it with that. The back of the scissors works. Come on. That's it. Some people can do this so easily. They don't have any troubles getting it to lift. There we go. See, like I said, I'm a bit worried about I haven't come over far enough on this. I personally think you should go further over. Don't make my mistakes. This has gone far over. There, for some reason, I didn't go very far. In fact, I'm going to glue that bit down. Billy glue on there. Because I do need that to be stuck down. Okay. Don't want you. Oh, I better glue them both at the same time, because apparently I've joined them together. I've joined them all together. That was not the plan. Okay, so they are all stuck down. Let's make sure they are fully stuck. Let's just make sure it folds still. Yes, it does. Perfect. And that looks like a lovely neat edge there. Lovely neat edge there. So now we've just got to stick these sides down. Tape. There you are. Why is my table so creaky tonight? I don't know. That one's off. That one's off. We're folding this one down. This is the one that's going to possibly cause me the most problems because it's going over something else. I think I need to put a bit more. I'm going to put a bit of glue in there just because I didn't go quite to that edge of that tape. Don't worry about it leaking out, it's going to be covered. Right. Push that down. Oh, I've already taken the tape off there, I forgot. Push that one down. Make sure it's pushed down thoroughly. Did you see that it was coming over a bit? So I just tucked it in. And again, didn't quite go down with the tape all the way in there. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue in there and push it down. There we go. Now what we do, I see I've cut this piece of paper and hopefully it's fit. And it's just slightly smaller than the size of the cover. There we go. Actually, it fits perfectly. So we will stick that down. I'm going to put glue around the edges, tape around the edges. And we'll put some across the middle as well. Oh. So, yes, it's pretty paper on the other side, but it was ruined in part of it. So you know what? Use it up. I'm going to tape around the outside. You can use glue, but this one you really do want to get pretty close to the edge because it's got to stay on. Come on. Oh, we didn't go quite close enough to the edge there. That's okay. Like I said, we can always put a bit of glue or I can do a second piece of tape and that's probably what I'm going to do. Oh, come on. Cut for me. Thank you. Why is this not cutting? Come on, tear it, tear it then, tear it, tear it. I'm actually going to take this off because, like I said, it didn't go up to the edge there. So I'm going to take this off. Not the whole tape, just the backing. Come on, play ball with me. Oh, look at that. That shouldn't have happened. It did, but it shouldn't have. There we go. And I'm going to go over with another piece of tape. I'm going to roll back these corners so I can go all the way. All the way to the edge. And I've just noticed there I didn't go all the way to the edge here, so I'm going to put another bit of tape on there as well. So, roll back that corner. Or not. There we go. Okay. Try again. This time I want it right to the edge. There we go. That's better. Oh, stuck to the tape. Didn't want to do that. Go back down. Let's cut off this edge. There we go. Now that's stuck to my mat. Right. That one's all right. That's all the way to the edge. But I have got a gap here. I'm going to put another strip along there. I'm going to go over where that's not gone to the edge as well. Oh, why are you not coming off? Come on. There we go. You're not playing ball either, are you? See, I've gone a little bit over there, but I can tuck that back on itself. Not a problem. And put a little bit there because I didn't go quite to the edge on that one. So it's going to leave a gap. And remember I said it didn't quite go to the edge here. You can see there's a little bit there that didn't get covered. So I'm just going to get that covered. It's better. I'm going to put a couple of strips across the middle. Just so we can make sure it's stuck all the way down. You can use glue. I'm just using this tape because it's stronger than the PVA and less messy. Okay. Just unstick you. Rub you down. Rub you down. Rub you down. Rub you down. And we should be able to peel all of them backings off. Fingers crossed. One. Two. Three. Well, that cake went over. Tuck it in. I didn't quite catch it. There we go. Tuck it in. Same with this one. It's slightly over. So tuck it in. That one's definitely over. Oh, and it's not coming off. Try it from the other side. Come on. Try not to get stuck to the tape like me. Okay, can't seem to get it from the edge. It wants to peel off, probably because I'm trying to unpeel it from where it's not stuck to anything. Let's cut that. Let's trim that bit off. Maybe that'll make my life a bit easier. No, still pulling the paper up. Why are you doing that? No. No. Oh, this piece don't want to come off, does it? Hey, I wonder if I pull this one off. Is it because I've stuck it to other tape? I'm wondering if that's what the problem is. No, that's coming off. That's coming off. There we go. Now, in theory, there we go. Right, okay. So that's all of the tape backing off. To move everything out of the way. Make sure there's no sticky out bits. Get my thing back over here. So this is where the biggest issue was. Oh, hang on. Let me fold them down again. Yeah, that's come unglued. Cool. Okay. This is where the biggest problem is, because I've not got much of an overhang on this side. So I want to make sure. There we go. Is this perfect? Absolutely not. See, when I said tuck it in, I should have tucked it in better, because that's the tape sticking out there. Okay. Right. Where's my phone folder? Like I said, you can use the back of your scissors handle for this, but you want to smooth out. Obviously, it's hard to smooth out when there's lumps on the other side because of the pattern you made. You just want to make sure it's fully stuck down and all that adhesive that you put on is attached to something. There we go. And then we get our book and we're folding it up and you're making sure that that crease that you made is there. And I've just seen that bubbling up, so let's make sure that's pushed down. And the same on this side, folding it up to get that crease. If you want the book to fold, like so, there we go. And there we go. And that is how to make a jacket for a book out of cardboard. This one was napkin, but tissue paper is my preferred option. I've bought some more so I can make some more. And what else do you need? Oh yeah, PVA glue. I've just noticed that that has started lifting, so I'm just going to make sure that is pushed down properly. The spine. The spine. I'm going to do the same on all the edges, because that's where it's lightest to lift more. I don't know what happened here, because I know that was covered, but it's fine. Because the whole point is this is a hand-made book, and we shouldn't expect perfection. It is a bit lumpy, and that is because it's the actual where the card had warped during the gluing, but I quite like that. Happy with that. I'm going to see what I can do to fix this, because I really hated this, to do something with it. And the angel one here, I quite like the design of the angel. I just don't like the colouring, so I'm probably going to paint this and then do what I've done here and give it an inside. And then what we do is we get our pages and we sew them into here, and that will be a completed book once I've sewed the pages in. Got a lot of tea dyeing to do. So there you go. Like I said, I'm working on something special. So a friend of mine, very, very good friend of mine, very dear friend of mine, put that there so you've got something to focus on, is very unwell at the moment. And I say cosplays, her alter ego is a dark angel. So dark angel falls under the magic category. So I'm working on something dark angel for her. I'm hopefully going to have printables for you to join in. That's what I'm working on. Anyway, for now, I'm going to say goodbye. And thank you for being patient with me. It's been a rough few weeks. I'm not going to lie. Too many people that I care about are just going through stuff, and it kind of mess with my head when that happens. I'm going to bid you goodbye and see you again soon. Thank you.